Hello and welcome to Jaguar XK8 Alternator Duct Assembly and which way up it should go. This is episode 40 in my series of short videos detailing how I change my cam, chains, tensioners and guides. And in this video I'm going to explore this small piece of plastic which some people have the wrong way up. Why it's there, what it does, in a bit of detail. Okay, so this is the alternator duct I'm talking about. It's a small piece of plastic. You'll see it as you look from the passenger compartment. It's situated on the right hand side of the engine. It's part of the underbody just between the radiator and the alternator. So here we have, why do we have a duct? So the alternator has all its electrical parts on the rear of it, which is not in the main airflow. So in order to get airflow onto it, they've added some ducts. So we'll go into detail of why we need the airflow. So the alternator, as seen here, on the back of it, as shown here, we have lots of holes for airflow. And more importantly, the regulator, there's also a rectifier in here, has a heat sink. Obviously that's going to get very hot, so it needs an airflow there to keep it cool. Anybody who's got one of these alternators, they are quite easy to repair. Go off on a bit of a tangent here. They are quite easy to repair. You can buy voltage regulators and rectifiers, and from painful experience, you can blow them up if you don't disconnect your earth wire while welding. I'm not sure why I know that. And you can fit new parts because basically the windings of the alternator very rarely break down. It's the gubbins at the back here that you have a problem, the electrical items, and possibly the bearings, although my bearings were okay. Okay, sorry, a bit of a sideline there. So this rectifier sits at the back with its heat sink. So we've got a scoop. This scoop here will scoop air out of the airflow underneath the vehicle and channel air onto it, maintaining a good temperature. Okay, so here we see the scoop just in front of the oil filter. So in order to get a good flow of air, this alternator air duct sits in between the radiator and the scoop. So it does this sort of job. So you got all your cold airflow as it passes through the radiator, it warms up and it passes over past the alternator, obviously not getting anywhere near it. And then cold airflow can be scooped up from underneath the vehicle onto it. This is as it's assembled as an N. So like this. So the air flows up and over. So, but the design features don't seem to marry up with that sort of design on my car. We've got a raised bolting surface here, which means you bolt against the gap. Got weaker tabs at the lower. We've got a cutout here. I don't know quite why. And we have a cutout here. I don't really understand why. So when you look at it, here we got the tabs seem to be the wrong way up. We got the gap on bolting up. We've got a big gap here as well. Not sure why. And then we got this cutout here. Doesn't seem to make any sense at all. Okay, but if you assemble it the other way up, this seems to look a little bit better. The main tabs are on the top, so the main force is that way. This seems to bolt up correctly without a gap. And this cutout at the side seems to look like a nice cutout for the oil filter. So you can use the oil filter removal tool without taking the scoop off if you're pretty handy. And as you look from the other side, that cutout on the side didn't look like it had a reason on the other way up. It actually clears this cross brace. So I started thinking, why would you want to have these assembled as a U? So as I said, the cold air comes in through the radiator, warms up. So you're now channeling warm air from the radiator onto your rectifier. So it isn't ideal, but maybe the airflow is going to be good enough, the actual amount of airflow. What I was thinking maybe was to protect you from water ingress. So imagine if you're going through a flood or a puddle, this air duct assembled this way will deflect water from going into the scoop. I can imagine also if you have a dusty atmosphere, a lot of dirt, you have the same thing. It'll channel dirt and dust away from the scoop. Obviously, if you have the scoop the other way up, the minute you drive through a flood, you're going to scoop all that water directly onto your rectifier and all those electrical gubbins, which can't be good. So I thought maybe it's going to be that way up. So I was thinking, protect from water in the UK, this way up. Cold airflow, maybe North American models, this way up. As it turns out, completely incorrect. So this way is not the correct way of doing it. This way is the correct way. And actually, on my car, I have a coupe. This cutout is actually for the reinforcement bar for cabriolet models. They have basically an X piece bolted onto the car because it's pretty wobbly because it's got no roof. Okay, so which way is yours fitted? Is it the right way up or the wrong way up? Might be worth a look this weekend. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Sorry, it's a bit of fun, one for the geeks really. Please like, share, comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more XK8 videos.